You salary thief. You're fired. I should have fired you a long time ago. You ought to be grateful. A sudden termination announcement. The company's environment is indeed poor, but at least I'm getting paid. If I don't stand my ground here, my family will be in trouble. Please, anything but firing me. I'll work even harder. I beg you. To Tom, the president's son, as a temp worker, if I'm let go, finding another job will be tough. I need to somehow get on his good side. Even if you say you'll work harder, you haven't achieved much as it is. It's a bother having you around, you get it. With a smug smile and crossed arms, he speaks arrogantly. It's a decision made by my father, the president. Stop your yapping and pack up already. You're slow till the end. His loud laughter echoes in the room. There's nothing more I can do. Thank you for everything, I managed to say and leave his room. A few days after this termination, my once bleak life takes a turn, and Tom, who fired me, begins his downfall. Never would I have imagined such a dramatic turnaround. Hey, you're not done yet. You guys are really useless. Angry shouts fill the office. Tom, the president's son, struts around the room, kicking the chairs of colleagues working frantically. With his arms crossed arrogantly, he says, "It's really a hassle that nothing progresses without my scolding," with a sigh and a gesture of exasperation. Colleagues are fed up with his attitude, but he's the president's son. No one dares to speak up. My name is Carlos. I work as a game developer at Macro Corp. I've been with this company since joining, but now I work as a temp due to certain reasons. I come from a single-parent family, just my father and me. My mother passed away when I was young, and he raised me alone. He has always been frail with many illnesses. Despite this, he encouraged me to do what I want in the future. I wanted to repay him as soon as possible. Joining the well-known Macro Corp, I was happy to finally be able to make life easier for him. But perhaps years of strain took their toll. Not long after I joined the company, he fell ill. Since falling ill, he couldn't work like before and was frequently hospitalized, so I convinced the company to let me work as a temp to accommodate his care. I continued working with the understanding and help of my colleagues, but those days didn't last long. A year after, the son of the company president named Tom joined the company. The atmosphere in the office completely changed. There had always been a faint scent of a toxic work environment, but we only had to stay overnight a few times a month. However, since Tom's arrival, the workload and unreasonable schedules increased drastically. He claimed to be assigning the right people to the right jobs, but his sudden reshuffling of the female staff increased the burden on the team immeasurably. Exhausted, I would collapse into bed as soon as I got home. My father was worried about me, but I knew if I quit the job in a fit of emotion, I'd be lost. So I never showed weakness in front of him, always insisting, "I'm okay." One day, I had to accompany my father to the hospital, so I went to my boss to request a half-day off next week, which I had already informed the company about. Unexpectedly, I was called into Tom's office. Confused but not one to be late and hear more complaints, I hurried to Tom. "Carlos here. Excuse me for interrupting." Come in," came a languid reply from inside. "What do you need me for?" His response was something I never expected. "Yeah, you're fired, effective today," he said without even looking at me. Stunned and at a loss for words, I faced his annoyed expression as he repeated his statement. "You hear me? You're fired." "Why?" I was dumbfounded, but the question came out in an easy-to-understand manner. He laughed and responded, "Always taking half days off and not working," he said with a mocking laugh. "My father is sick and needs someone to accompany him. I have explained this to the company and received their permission. But why? Maybe he doesn't like that I'm backing down, and this time he gets irritated and starts yelling at me. Don't make noise, it's no good if I say no. I can't believe you let me quit for that reason, huh? What are you complaining about? Don't you realize how much trouble you're causing by taking time off? Someone else will take over the work you threw away. Everyone worked hard. If you're the only one who takes frequent breaks, even though you're busy, it'll be a nuisance to everyone around you." He grinned and continued speaking. "It's the responsibility of those of us who are above us to protect our employees. Besides, your work isn't worth your salary. You're useless, and you're taking days off, which is a burden to the company. It's nothing else, right? So this is a natural decision for the company to make. It's an employer's right, do you understand?" he said, laughing heartily. "Well, that's the way it is. Take care." I did take more days off than other employees, but I completed my assigned tasks and coordinated well with others. I couldn't accept Tom's reason for firing me. My salary was the mainstay of the household budget, and my father's medical expenses were still ongoing. I'll withdraw my half-day request. I'll work even harder than before. Please, I beg you, don't fire me. I didn't want to bow down to Tom, who abused his parents' power to do unreasonable things. But if I worried about appearances, I'd be lost. I pleaded emotionally. Work hard. No matter how much a fool tries, it's useless. We don't have money to waste on a salary thief like you. Or are you challenging the decision of me, the president's son? Go ahead, make your move, he said threateningly, a sleazy grin on his face. I was powerless. Thank you for everything, I said, barely getting the words out. You should have just said that from the start, wasting my time. Hurry up, pack your things, and get out. Goodbye. His laughter echoed until the door closed behind me. My father, who was preparing dinner, was surprised by my unusual return. Sensing something from my demeanor, he gently patted my back. Feeling the warmth of his hand, I held back tears as I told him I had been fired. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. It's because of my lack of ability. You have nothing to apologize for. I'm the one who should apologize. I'm sorry for always being a burden. Carlos, take a rest now. We can think about work later. But it's okay. I've been feeling better lately and have taken on more work. Don't worry about money. Dad, oh right, you've been so busy lately. How about playing a video game for a change? You must be tired today. Rest in your room and I'll call you when dinner's ready, he said, smiling kindly. Okay, I will. Thanks, Dad. Then I dragged my heavy body to my room. I picked up a stack of game software I had bought but never played. There were various games, including old favorites and recent popular releases. As I sat alone in the quiet room, the computer screen displayed "Update completed." It was a notification for Faraway Story, an online game I was hooked on. Come to think of it, I haven't played in a while. I used to log into this game as a break from work, even after I started my job. But since Tom joined a year ago, work doubled, and I had to stay overnight more often, so I neglected even this game. Nostalgia moved me to sit in front of the computer. I bet no one remembers me anymore, I muttered self-deprecatingly as I logged in. The familiar music played, and my avatar, through which I'd had many adventures, stood there as valiant as ever. My love for games was influenced by my late mother. My father used to watch my mother and me play, looking happy. That was the usual scene at our home. After she passed away, I lost the will to play games. But at such times, my father would say, "Shall we play together?" That was Faraway Story. Although my mother wasn't there, it strangely felt like she was with me. I think my father must have felt the same way. It would be a lie to say it wasn't hard, but it was undoubtedly the games that saved us, a family who had lost my mother. For me, games were a part of our family memories and connections. That's why I naturally came to want to be someone who creates games. After finishing vocational school, I joined my dream game company. Despite that, "You're fired, effective today." The moment of my dismissal came back to me. My hand controlling the character almost stopped at that moment. "Well, Ku, it's been so long." That's how I was addressed on the screen. "Really happy to see you again, Ku. You've got time now, let's adventure together again." They were companions I used to travel with. A wave of nostalgia rose in my chest at this long-awaited reunion. Like old times, I opened voice chat and laughed with friends on the other side of the screen. The conversation, unchanged from those times, was comforting. "Ku, you seem down. Is something wrong?" Daisy, the reliable one in our party, asked me this. "Do I seem so?" "Yes, I agree. If you have worries, talk to Alice here. If I tell you, you'll just say it until you're full, and that's it." "What?" "I say hunger is the greatest enemy." Everyone laughed at Moonmaker Alice's famous quote. Then Ren, the party leader, spoke to me in a slightly serious tone. "If it's okay with us, we'll listen to you." His words touched the depths of my heart. Before I knew it, I was telling them about what happened today. "What? That's power harassment. Unbelievable. That's awful." I could only laugh weakly at everyone's words. "You still want to make games, right?" Daisy asked me. "Of course, my passion hasn't changed. But I wonder if I, being a temp, can find a job." "That's not like you. You always encouraged and helped us, Ku. You can surely do it," Roden encouraged me. "Yes, we all know your love for games, Ku. There's definitely a company out there that will appreciate you." Alice's words strongly affirmed me. "I think so too. There are still many possibilities ahead for you. Please don't give up. Daisy's gentle voice touched my heart. Thanks, everyone, I said, feeling their belief in me gave me courage. You mentioned before that you've studied various programming languages, right? I think that's a significant strength. Then how about making a bold move and changing jobs? Maybe to a rival company or something. That's a great idea. Then you can become a big success there and show them, right? It's worth a try, nothing to lose. The game I opened out of nostalgia, the conversation with the friends I met there, gave me the courage to try again. Games are indeed indispensable in my life. I promised to report back to everyone and close the game. All right, I'll do my best to give everyone good news, I muttered, staring at my clenched fist. I didn't realize that my father was quietly watching me all this time. After that, I searched desperately for a job, and by chance, I found that Whittier, a major game company and rival of Macro Corp, where I had worked, was hiring programmers. I applied immediately, and the day of the interview arrived. Carlos, please come in. I decided to convey all my thoughts here. With that determination, I entered. There was a woman and a man sitting in front of me. Thank you for coming today. We will conduct your interview. I'm Thompson, the president, and this is Lopez, the head of development. Pleased to meet you, that's how they introduced themselves. Oh man, this beautiful person is the president. Is something the matter? President Thompson, concerned about my silent, motionless stance, spoke to me. Oh, well, sorry. My name is Carlos. I used to work at Macro Corp. Thank you for having me today. And so the interview began. I see you really love games, Carlos. I can feel it passion in your story. Why did you leave Macro Corp? I answered honestly about my family situation, the harsh environment at Macro Corp, and the circumstances of my dismissal. President Thompson and Leon frowned as they listened. I had heard rumors, but I didn't realize it was that bad. Yes, really. While working at Macro Corp, I became numb to its oddities, but seeing the reactions of Tom and Leon, I realized something was off. Just having someone understand made me feel a bit relieved. You've learned so many languages in there. Impressive, Thompson, the CEO of Whittier, exclaimed after reviewing my resume. Leon, department head, nodded in agreement, stroking his chin. Never thought you'd join us, he murmured, but I couldn't hear him clearly. Then they nodded to each other in agreement. I watched them, feeling detached, until I heard the next words. Carlos, you're an immediate asset. Please join us. Are you hiring me? Yes. Is there anything you are concerned about? Let's see. I know I don't say this myself, but I think I'll be taking a lot of time off from work because of my father, so I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Thompson stands up. It's ridiculous to be a nuisance. Everyone at the company is friends. People from various backgrounds work in the same company. They help each other and complement each other to create something good. There are people in this company who dislike you, Carlos. There is no such thing as a president, I guarantee it. She was pounding her chest with such force that it made a banging sound. She is right. I am also working while caring for my elderly mother. There are many people in the development department, including people with small children, people who are pregnant, and people like me who are caring for family members. Some people like you have family issues. We work together and follow each other, so please rest assured. Leon smiles and nods, affirming her words. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you all. I delivered appreciation over and over again. President Thompson once again told me, please feel free to apply for early leave or half-day leave for your father. Even though we had just met, I was so happy they were this caring. I found myself wanting to be useful for the company and for her. I'm getting ahead of myself considering I hadn't even started working yet. I found myself smiling naturally as I headed home, feeling a sense of nostalgia in Thompson's kind voice. Working at Blue Tech Co., I really felt how comfortable it was. There were no arrogant people who got in through connections like Tom nor any shouting within the office. Everyone was working energetically and lively. I often saw President Thompson herself visiting various departments and appreciating the employees. It was a scene I had never witnessed at Macrocorp, but it alone made me realize the open atmosphere of this company. The salary and benefits were quite good, more than double what I used to get even when I was at 10. Thanks to this, I no longer worried about my life, and my father was happy too. When I told my gaming buddies like Daisy, who cared about me, that I got the job, they were all really happy for me. They even gave me warm words, saying to consult them anytime if needed. I'm truly glad to have them in my life. Initially, I was supposed to be assigned to the development department as a programmer, but considering my frequent leaves, I'm temporarily assigned as an assistant to the president within the company. In the past, employees who were pregnant or had serious illnesses were assigned to this position, working well considering their health. They've been so good to me in every way, I can't thank them enough. One day, a big trouble arose and a meeting was held. It was about a critical bug found in an upcoming software release that needed urgent fixing, or else the release would be delayed. Hearing that a delay would easily exceed a damage cost of $1,500,000, I felt a chill down my spine, especially since various campaigns were already underway. Reports from various departments followed, making the air in the room heavier. After all the reports were in and a silence fell, I hesitantly raised my index finger. Well, President Thompson, may I also participate in the fixing work? My suggestion drew all eyes in the room to me. I appreciate it, but the deadline is really tight. Considering your father, I don't want to burden you. If I just relaxed at home while the company is in trouble, my father would scold me. Even if I can only help a little, please let me join. I beg you. Saying this, I expressed my plea. I sensed a sigh and looked up to see her smiling. Carlos, thank you. You're a big help. Please start working under Leon's direction immediately. I'll also ask around for support from other departments and reach out again to programmers we've worked with before. Please lend your strength, everyone, and let's overcome this crisis together. Everyone nodded strongly at her words. This must be how the company has always overcome crisis together. I felt like I saw something like a bond, and a warm feeling settled in my heart. Director Leon, I'm counting on you. Carlos, I'm relieved to have you. Thank you. From then on, it was incredibly busy every day. I was at the development department tackling the revisions, but maybe it was thanks to my intense days at Macrocorp. Even with little sleep, my focus never waned, and I could use my typing speed honed in those days. With external programmers summoned by the president joining in, our progress speed increased, allowing us to complete the work. Thus, we managed to release as scheduled, and this trouble was splendidly resolved. Then one day, a modest celebration was held in the development department. I was invited to join. President Thompson brought some refreshments. Amidst everyone's excitement, she sat next to me. Carlos, thank you so much. For this time, only the development department was calling you God Hand. That's an exaggeration, but really even Liam praised your incredible skills. We met an amazing talent that day, she smiled softly. Being praised by her makes me blush. You're flattering me too much, but I'm really happy to finally feel useful to the company. I'm the one who's grateful. I'm really happy to work with you. My heart beat faster as she whispered these words closer than usual. Looking at her face, gazing straight at me, I felt drawn in. President Thompson. Carlos, come over here and join us. Hearing that, I came to my senses and realized I'd gotten too close to her. Oh, I'm sorry. Embarrassed, I hastily returned to the group. I pretended not to notice the smirks around me and focused on enjoying the gathering. And then, I continued to work alongside President Thompson while attending to my father at the hospital. However, what? He's collapsed. It was a sudden call. Fortunately, a neighbor found my father quickly, so it wasn't serious. I rushed to the hospital room where he was sleeping. His complexion was far from good. The attending doctor was in the room, and I received an explanation in another room. Your father needs surgery. Hearing that, my mind went blank. I returned to the room and looked at his thin face. Dad, I desperately tried to hold back tears. I had to do something. I couldn't lose him. Then I explained the situation to the company and told them I would need to take more half-days off. President Thompson kindly agreed and also expressed concern for my father's condition. If you have any trouble, please let me know. Her kind words reminded me of the cost of the surgery, but I couldn't impose, having only started working a few months ago. Thank you, that's more than enough. I forced a smile. At that time, I didn't notice her sad expression. Since my father collapsed, I've been going to the hospital every day, trying hard to smile so he wouldn't notice. While I was collecting laundry, watching me intently, he spoke. Carlos, I'm always causing you trouble. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. Just get better soon. It's okay now. Carlos. What are you talking about? I raised my voice reflexively to his words. I know my own body best, but your dad's time is... That's impossible. I cut off his words, raising my voice. Carlos, I don't want to burden you anymore. I don't want to hinder your life. Dad, I want him to live. I want him to be by my side. Before I knew it, I was sobbing. His thin, four-tube-laden arm gently stroked my head. You should go back to work now, he advised, and I left the room feeling powerless. Then Tom, who had announced my firing, walked by. Carlos, seeing the nameplate of the room I emerged from, he seemed to understand why. I was there. I see your dad's hospitalized, huh? I didn't have the energy to respond and just started walking away. For some reason, he has been following me and blocked my way. What's going on with you? What do you mean? I heard, man, you joined Blue Tech Co., didn't you? He continued grinning. But you're in trouble. Your dad's surgery costs, what? His accurate guess made me glare at him. Ah, I knew it. You're so predictable. What do you want? Don't look so scared. As your former boss, I want to help you. Help? He put his hand on my shoulder, whispering, leak the new project info from Blue Tech Co. to us. Then I'll cover your dad's surgery costs. I laughed at his ridiculous proposal. Taking my reaction as positive, he began to talk more. It's not a bad deal, right? That company has been too arrogant lately. Oh, dirt on that female president would be good as well. It'd be fun to see her face twist. But I never expected you to join Blue Tech Co. Luck's finally come my way. Disgusted by his talking about Thompson, I fiercely shrugged off his hand. What the hell are you doing? I won't cooperate with you. I firmly rejected him. He raised his voice, displeased with my attitude. What the hell? You're talking big. Reject my offer and your dad won't make it. You okay with that? Even so, I will never betray the company or President Thompson. I couldn't stand him trying to disgrace the company and the president with his dirty tricks. I will save my father by myself. Don't ever show up in front of me again. How dare you? Just shut up. You'll regret this. Just as his anger peaked and he was about to hit me, a nurse who happened to pass by intervened. What's all this noise? A nurse passing by heard us and came over. You crying to me anyway? I'll be waiting for you to contact me anytime. With those words, he ran off. I couldn't concentrate at work even after returning to the office. I want my father to undergo surgery, but the fact is I don't have the money. Even so, I absolutely don't want to betray the company and take money from Tom. My thoughts were swirling, unable to settle. President Thompson obviously noticed my state. She came right in front of me and asked me directly, is something wrong? Tell me. I would like to talk to you if possible, but I don't want to cause trouble. Then, will you listen to my story first? She said and sat down next to me. She began talking about why she started the company. I love games, so I started this company. But the early days were terrible. I was obsessed with making sellable games, giving irrational orders, and when those games sold, I became arrogant, thinking as long as it makes a profit, it's a win. I saw games merely as tools then. So bad, right? My approach wasn't accepted and many people left. The quality of our games deteriorated. Naturally, the company started failing. Being in the same industry, I didn't know Blue Tech Co. had such a past when it started. When work diminished and I had too much time, I started playing an online game that was popular then. I wanted to understand what was different about my games. That's where I met someone. Before I knew it, she was intently looking at me. The game was Far Away Story. The player I met was Ku. You, Carlos. What? I let out a voice of surprise at the president's words. During the interview, your resume and past experiences shocked me. Ku's story was right in front of me. I didn't know his face, but the voice, manner of speaking, and passion for gaming, it was Ku. I knew. Why didn't I realize sooner? This voice, polite way of speaking, care for others. The person who encouraged me to find a new job the day I was fired. President Thompson smiling in front of me was my gaming friend Daisy. Even among those who do terrible things in games, Ku's actions were admirable, acting selflessly for others, always supporting everyone while partying together. I realized what I had been doing in reality. I was embarrassed by my past actions. Reminiscing, she looked down. Then I apologized to everyone in the company, discussed and decided our future direction together. We carefully listened to improvement suggestions and changed things one by one. It took time, but by valuing every employee, the atmosphere in the company completely changed. Former colleagues who had left came back. Some programmers who helped us during the recent trouble were ex-employees who had chosen freelancing. Really? Yes, years have passed since then, but they still came to help. I'm beyond grateful. Blue Tech Co today is thanks to what I learned from Ku. She then gently took my hand. Her hand was much smaller than mine, but very warm. You are my benefactor. Now it's my turn to help you, Ku. I'm glad I encouraged you to change jobs. Because of that, I can help you now. President Thompson, you were Daisy. I didn't realize it all. It's okay. I didn't talk much about personal matters and I was afraid of distancing everyone by revealing I'm the president. No way. Just because Daisy is the president, it doesn't mean Rodent Alice or even I would leave. I shouted with such force that I unintentionally gripped her hand tightly, only then realizing she was holding my hand. Oh, your hand. I won't let you go until you tell me what's going on. Please talk to me. At her words, tears overflowed from my eyes. My heart had reached its limit. She gently handed me a handkerchief. As I wept, President, I'm sorry. It's just me. Take your time. It's okay. Then I confessed everything about my father's condition, the surgery, and his words. After I finished, I looked up to see her in tears. Carlos, I wish you had told me sooner, but thank you for sharing something so painful. Can I take care of your father's matter? But I don't want to be a burden. I want to help you. He's the father who raised you. I'd love to meet him and talk, so let me handle it. Thank you so much. I'm determined to save my father. I still want to be with him. I was grateful to President Thompson, who cried with me for my father and resolved to repay this kindness for the rest of my life. She quickly arranged the surgery funds. She said I didn't need to pay her back, but it was a significant amount. I insisted on an advance of my salary and promised to work at the company and repay this kindness. After my father's surgery, his surgery was performed and was a success. Postoperative recovery was also uneventful. Thompson and I visited my father in the hospital. We both owe you a lot, he said to Thompson, sitting up in bed. No, Carlos has saved our company twice. I'm just glad I could repay him. Everyone at the company is happy to work with him. Thank you, President Thompson. Carlos, you're lucky to have found such a good company. We were all smiling. Now, if only Carlos finds a nice woman, I could rest easy. Dad, what are you saying? If someone like President Thompson became your wife, your mother in heaven, and I would be so happy. Dad, that's inconvenient for the president, I said. Sorry, the president has an absurd suggestion, my dad replied, but Thompson's face was bright red. If I'm okay, I'd love to, Thompson said. Really, President? Are you serious? I asked. Now I can rest easy. President Thompson, please take care of my son. I'm not much, but please accept my regards, my dad said, leaving me. Thompson and I greeted each other. While we were having such a happy time, Tom and his company were facing serious troubles. Tom's father, the president, fell and was hospitalized, and Tom took over as acting president. He wielded his power recklessly, firing many people for no reason and misusing company funds. The blame for firing the people who were at the core of the company was felt immediately, and the quality of the games made by Disdain significantly decreased. Desperate as he couldn't recover the misused funds, Tom released a bug-riddled game which received major backlash, causing the company's stock to plummet. Faced with shareholder criticism, he sought to recover by stealing technology or talent from Blue Tech Co. or by undermining its reputation. That's why he targeted me. By chance, in the same hospital, Tom called in desperation. Carlos, you need money, right? Give me Blue Tech's information. I have no intention of helping you. Besides, my father's surgery was a success. I replied. Ha! How could someone like you afford it? I get it, you must have blackmailed the president for money, Tom accused. Don't lump me with you. President Thompson is a wonderful person, not like you, I said. Shut up. Just give me the money if you have it. I'm in serious trouble. The company will collapse. My father will disown me, Tom pleaded. I thought it was deserved. His own actions had come back to haunt him. Whatever happens to you is none of my business. If you approach me or President Thompson again, I'll take legal action. Don't ever contact me again. I warned and hung up. Perhaps scared by the threat of legal action, he never approached President Thompson, Blue Tech Co., or me again. My father was discharged from the hospital a few months after surgery. His rehab continued, but he could occasionally go to the hospital by himself, so I moved from being the president's assistant to the development department. I'm happily working every day surrounded by great colleagues. Today, President Thompson visited our development department. Good work, Carlos, she said. You too, President, I replied. After finishing her conversation with everyone, she approached me. Then she whispered nervously into my ear, I've been invited by your father today. What should I wear? What about a gift? President Thompson, you look great in anything, and he will be happy with anything you choose, I assured her. Oh, really? If you say so, that's fine, she blushed and smiled, looking so adorable that I wanted to hug her. Excuse me, while we're happy to see you getting along, please keep personal conversations for after work. Director Leon appeared behind us without notice. Looking around, I saw that everyone in the department was smiling at us. Sorry, I got carried away. I apologized. After that hospital room interaction, we actually started dating. When I told our gaming friends Roden and Dallas, they were surprised but congratulated us. Reporting it to the company, everyone celebrated. Being with the most important person, who is also my benefactor, I'm incredibly happy. I have a past where games saved me. I have precious people around me connected through games. It's because of these people I met that I am who I am today. If the games I make bring joy to someone, if it connects many people, there's nothing more fulfilling. I want to cherish these important people who understand and create with me for the rest of my life.